as we are waiting for Dominaria United, which is right around the corner, coming off of the heels of Double Masters 2022, Secret Lair, Superdrop, August 2022. Does it have an official name?
Here comes the money train, all aboard the money train. Here comes the August money train.
That must be the anthem that they play all day at Hasbro. Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat. Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Millie Bobby Brown.
I'm Robert Downey Jr. in Doolittle. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel are Magic. We are going over the Secret Lair August Super Drop. There are some layers, they have cards, they also have prices, and we're gonna tell you them. If you like the video, by the end of it, hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out.
That's a great way to support the channel. We also have a TCG affiliate link that's gonna be pinned in the top comment of this video. Or actually, is it going to be an eBay affiliate link? Who knows what kind of affiliate link it's going to be at this point.
One of the two.
Something's going to happen. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video for our picks and what we're interested in from this Secret Lair, or what we may not be interested in.
You heard the man. Let's swap over. August Super Drop 2022. There are the bundles. We're gonna do what we normally do for every single Secret Lair Super Drop that is released. We're gonna go through these very briefly, one by one, talk about the lowest price that you could obtain a copy of every individual card for TCG market prices. We're gonna compare those prices collectively to the price of the layer, and then we are going to see what the bundles are worth as well.
That's right.
Jake, starting with Dan Frazier, we had Dan Frazier do a turn of the Signets, one of these last Secret Lairs that came out, and now he is back with the Talismans. Talismans used to get me excited, but nowadays they're really not popping off as much.
They're not bad cards by any stretch of the imagination, and if you don't have them, now is a great time to get them, especially if you want some cool iconic art. So let's get that part of this out of the way.
Absolutely.
The big thing about Secret Lairs, if the art speaks to you, that's the whole point of this. A bunch of these are easy skips for us, and the reason is because the value just isn't there on a lot of these. But yeah, the Talismans are sweet. They're pretty good. The allied ones, they're more scarce, so they have better value. The enemy ones have been printed a lot. Modern Horizons, we have reprints of them, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, we have a big difference between the allied talismans and the enemy talismans. Allied ones, we got Indulgence is going to be $4. Impulse is going to be $2.50. You got Unity, that's 50 cents. Dominance, it's $2.50. And then finally Progress, which is $13. That's an expensive one. And again, scarcity.
Yeah, the Progress Talisman and the Talisman of Indulgence are really the only two talismans at this point that are still holding value. And it's crazy. A few years ago, these were really valuable pieces to obtain for a commander deck, but nowadays, not so much. A lot of them are getting printed into the pre-con commander decks. And so with the allied talismans, you've got about $23 worth of value, with the most of that value being that Talisman of Progress. And then Jake, with enemy talismans, you've got like $6 total, with the most expensive one from this set being Talisman of Conviction, the Boros one.
Right, and then you have Creativity, which has a little bit of value as well. Hierarchy at $1 each. We should mention there is a secret card in here. We always talk about this in all of our videos where we cover Secret Lair. If this is your first time buying it, well then you're going to need to know there is a secret card that isn't advertised here that is sometimes going to be kind of worthless, or sometimes it could be really good. It just depends on how rare it is or what cycle of secret cards the card is from. But yeah, these are an easy pass for me. I do like the way that they look. Mana rocks are good. There's just so many different variants these days that it's just like, well, you know, I don't have to have this.
Right.
You know?
The secret card in the first Dan Frazier pass at the Mana Rocks was an Arcane Signet. And so with that one being relevant to the layer itself, that was a pretty cool inclusion and a pretty valuable one. You know, more valuable than some of these talismans that we're seeing here, because everybody wants an Arcane Signet for their deck, and these old borders, these retro frames, whatever you want to call them, they are desirable. And so with the allied talismans, it's 30 or 40 bucks depending if you're getting non-foil or foil etched. You've got $23 worth of value, and then your enemy talismans, you've got about $6 worth of value, again, if you just want to go pick these up on the secondary market. Next up, we've got Imaginary Friends, and I kind of like the art take on these. They're cute little kind of monster, cute monster looking little creatures. You've got cool. Matter Reshaper at $2, but then you've got Toothy, Imaginary Friend, which is a $10 card. You've also got Pure Imaginative Rascal at $13. And then you've got, everybody knows it, the Gitrog Monster, maybe one of my favorite treatments, if not my favorite treatment of all time on Gitrog Monster.
It's very sweet.
Yeah, about $4. This is the kind of Secret Lair that I like, Jake. You've got 3 playable commanders. These are partners, and then this is a very playable commander, or great in the 99 of a lot of land-based commander decks. I like having cool treatments of playable commander cards. Matter Reshaper is also a fine inclusion, but here I'm looking at Pure and Toothy, and that's what's really drawing me to this layer.
Yeah, originally printed in Battle Bond, I believe, when we had the partners. Yeah, I mean, they are very good, and those have kind of withstood the test of time. Seems pretty calculated to include those. They're some of the best ones that came out of that set. And then Gitrog as well. I agree with you. The colored pencil motif for these is just really nice. I think it's very like cute, and it has just a really neat aesthetic. I like this move to the borderless for a lot of the Secret Lair treatments. I don't like that they're just, or I like that they're not just doing like an extended look, right? But instead the entire card kind of has this unique look, which I think is what Secret Lair is all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about calculated, Jake. $29 worth of value in a $30 Secret Lair. We've said it before in the review of these things, but Wizards has gotten very good at making the value of these right at, just above, or in some cases like the enemy talismans, very, very under the value of what you're paying for this. After that, we've got another artist series, one of 2 artist series in this set. This is artist series Victor Adame Minguez, beloved artist of MTG, and we've got some cool treatments, Jake, of some very playable lords. Night Exemplar, a Night Lord. That card is
so good. That card is so good.
Absolutely, it is. You've got Knight of the White Orchid in a very sci-fi aesthetic here that I'm really, really into. You've also got Lord of the Undead, a very valuable $16 zombie lord. And then they also threw in Compost because I guess Victor wanted to do the art for Compost. But overall, the value on this one is, again, just at the value of the layer. $25, $25, $26 worth of value, most of it being in the $16 Lord of the Undead and the $7 Night Exemplar.
That Lord of the Undead is one of my favorite treatments and variants of that card. The Lord of the Undead is just such a great iconic zombie card. It's a staple. This gives me total like Mad Max vibes. I don't know if that's where this is coming from or
has to be
kind of like where the direction came from. But yeah, that and the Knight of the White Orchid, the art on that is really cool as well. I agree with you. Very sci-fi. I want to know more about this. You know, I haven't really looked into it that much, but this kind of departure on the MTG cards, it's pretty sweet. It kind of gives me like Star Wars vibes a little bit, especially this card here.
Yeah, $25, $26 worth of value for the $30 layer there. For the foil prices, you know, a lot of times we just say roughly double it, look at it that way, but also know that Secret Lairs so far, besides foil etched treatments, have not proven that they will not bend when they arrive. So if you're buying the foils, beware. And this is coming from someone who buys almost exclusively the foil option of the layers that I want to pick up. Know that they will bend. Know that they have not proved it yet.
I like buying the non-foil because specifically that. And there's a bonus. It's cheaper.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Nils
Yep.
Hamm is our other artist treatment here, Jake. We got some very cool cards.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
This one
I've
is
got to
strong.
say, very cool cards that are very... They synergize with each other. They seem like they were picked with purpose, not just picking some cards that the artist likes. Deep Glow Skate, $3 card, but has to do with doubling counters on permanents. Tireless Tracker, $6 card, gets counters on itself. You've got Contagion Engine, $13, excellent reprint. Proliferates, putting counters on cards that already have counters on them. And then Sword of Truth and Justice, a $23 reprint. This one proliferates and puts counters on a creature you control. I love that not only are all of these treatments super fun, and we've seen Nils Hamm before in Secret Lair, but all of these cards synergize with each other. This is such a cool layer to me.
Yeah, it's got synergy, and it also, we didn't put any emphasis on this, but check out the flavor text of all of these cards. It's like throughout literature. There's Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, it's pretty sweet, man. We have stuff from the Raven. Yeah, like it's pretty cool. I like the inclusion of all these cards. They're all strong. As far as what we're going to review tonight, this has the strongest assortment of cards. So if you don't have any of these cards, in my opinion, not financial advice, this is a good pickup at around the $30 range, especially the non-foil if you want to grab it, because all of the cards are strong in their own respective archetypes.
Yeah, I agree. This is, and I say it every single time we review these layers, this layer is the kind of layer I want. Playable commander cards. The value can or can't be there. Don't really care too much for that. But the playability, that is what I want. I want playable commander cards in Secret Lairs. Jake, we also got In Memoriam Jaya Ballard, Fire Grandma. Jaya has passed on in the MTG story. I believe at the hands of a Johnny who has been completed and is now Phyrexian agent. But we've got a little Pyromancer's Goggles at $1. You've got a reprint of the Jaya Ballard Planeswalker at 50 cents. Really
not super good.
Not a ton of value here. But, I mean, look at these treatments. Jaya's Immolating Inferno. This is a very cool treatment of that. Love this art, even though it is a quarter for this rare if you just want to go pick it up. Pyretic Ritual played. This is a $2 card because it is played. And then you've got Repercussion. This
the big one
is a $26 card. And so instead of spreading the value out of this Secret Lair, they said, you know what? We're just going to do a Repercussion reprint. We're going to go do a cool treatment of it. This is obviously, you can see Bolus in the background and an Eternal in the bottom left-hand corner. This is obviously during War of the Spark, but putting all the value into one card, Jake, what do you think of that as an option for a Secret Lair?
Well, I'm a big fan of this card. You pair this with like a Blasphemous Act, and you can end a commander game in one turn. It's
easy peasy.
It's beautiful. This card has not been reprinted until now. This is the very first time we're getting a reprint of Repercussion, which is really cool. I like this choice. I think that it's a good time to kind of give Jaya a pretty serious card, a pretty serious reprint. So I think it's a good inclusion. I think it also shows how calculated these the secondary prices are of these layers, because pretty much everything else is just bulk. You know, the Pyromancer's Goggles are good. They're playable. A little bit expensive for a cost reduction, in my opinion.
What's about copying?
Or not a, for some reason I was thinking of a different card, but for a mana rock that copies, it's a little bit expensive. So I like this Secret Lair. I think that this one, even though a lot of the cards are kind of bulk, it has a cool theme, and so I'm kind of interested in it. Yeah, I love a high value reprint. You know, I was just talking about I really want mostly playables, but if you are gonna have a lot of sub-playable cards, having a value card in there, especially a good reprint, is always a good option. And now we get to showcase Dominaria United Textured Foil Edition. We have given Wizards a lot of props all throughout all of our reviews, and this review included, of how well they hit the value that you're getting of unique treatments. And then we have this one, Jake. All of these cards are $1. These are the bad versions of these. These are the old, terrible,
unplayable. I hate these. This whole layer is a joke. I could not be more insulted by this. This is $5 worth of cards that they're selling for $50. Yes, the treatments look cool, but you know what I'd rather have these treatments on? The somewhat playable versions that we got in the Nicol Bolas themed core set. Why are the old unplayable versions of these the ones that we got? I don't even want to have these as commanders, but you know what I would be doing? Building 5 different Elder Dragon commander decks with these if they were the remake somewhat playable versions of these that we got a few years ago. I hate these. What do you think of this?
Hey, Google, turn off the air conditioning.
Oh, God.
Joel, I have to agree with you, man. I think that these are a poor choice. They're too high costed for any type of commander player to actually want them. I think that they have very interesting and cool art. That's pretty much all I have to say. It reminds me of when they print a cycle of basic lands, but in that case, the basic lands are more playable than these cards and have more application.
Yes.
Which is the big difference. It's a swing and a miss. This one has a really cool, unique look. I like this one. Kind of cool.
These would be more valuable to me as posters. I don't understand this Secret Lair at all. I know that they had to have gone, well, do we go with reprints of the, unique and playable versions that we printed a few years back? Or do we go with the Legends versions and keep with the theme of Dominaria, United, Legends,
which is what
cards?
they did.
We found them. They went that route. It's totally terrible. I hate this one. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with me, but I have never been more insulted by a Secret Lair's offerings than this one here, because when I saw this chromium art that they teased at the showcase day last week, I was like, oh, hell yeah. I've actually been wanting to build, the wall commander with Arcades. I've been wanting to build a kind of an Esprit Flash chromium deck. The Bolas that flips, even going Jund with the Vivictus. I mean, it's just such a miss to
They're
not
too high
put
costs,
these.
and you don't want them as your commander. You don't want them in the 99. If they get removed once as your commander, they're too expensive to ever play again. They're just essentially, from the commander aspect, a big swing and a miss, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're not super high on these ones.
Super disappointed. Past that, you have got your non-stop non-foil bundle, the full of foils bundle, and the bundle. I can't see myself even considering the bundles in this one because of, number one, the offerings are fine to me overall. The value is definitely not there to just even justify a purchase of a layer for me that I may not even be interested in playing or opening, but buying and holding, they're not even there for that. I have to assume that they took the August super drop. They said everybody has spent their money on double masters. We are trying our absolute best to get them all to buy Dominaria United. Let's not muddy the water and have them also trying to split their funds between an August super drop that's full of heat. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jake
this
and
is
I,
an easy skip for me. There is one that I'm interested in. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the Jaya is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thematically, I do like the repercussion. Without the repercussion, would I feel the same way? Probably not. I do like the repercussion in there. The other one that I'm interested in is Artist Series Nils Hamm. It has some very good, very playable cards, but other than that, super easy skip. I know the dragons are sweet, but I'd be able to find them on the secondary market later on if I absolutely had to have them. As far as the art goes on the dragons, I know that we were just talking about that we're not super into that layer because of the value. It's just really easy to look at this many years later, knowing what Secret Lair is all about and knowing that it's just an endless amount of cards in the wings. It's impossible unless you're a whale to keep up with all of these different products. And so at this point, there's no real reason to be a completionist about this.
For me, the Talismans are a skip. I loved the Signets. Those were an auto buy for me. The Talismans, not so much at all. I really do like Imaginary Friends, and Artist Series Nils Hamm is probably where I will land with this. I will be punting Showcase Dominaria United Texture Foil Edition into the sun. I will be looking for a single of Repercussion when I can find it. And then probably the 2 sci-fi cards out of the Victor Adame set. I might see if I can find those on the secondary market as well, just to kind of have. You've got about 27 days, 27 and a half days left to pick up the August Super Drop, and those are our thoughts. Now we need you to go down into the comments and let us know which, if any, of these you will be picking up. And if you disagree with any of our takes on any of these layers, let us know that as well.
There's a lot of products on the horizon, so make sure you don't FOMO out. MTG is all about the money. They're going to keep pumping every single product they can possibly think of, and those are all my P's for the day.
If you want to purchase any or all of these cards for just the lowest price that you can acquire them, we've got a TCG Player link in the pinned comment below. If you purchase through that affiliate link, you will be directly helping our channel out, helping us grow, helping us do this as our full-time job. Jake, that is our coverage of the August Super Drop. Are you ready to close this one out?
We've said everything. It's time to be done.
It's time to be done.